talking about Woodbridge, Virginia today, so let's get the people the data.
Go ahead, baby. In 2011, the Census Bureau made a drastic change to Woodbridge. I didn't know this. They changed the boundaries of the city, and it reduced it by 80%.
Crazy.
So it took it from like 40,000 people down to 4,000 people.
Yep.
So when you say Woodbridge, Virginia, you're just talking about a little area. It's on the Occoquan. It's like the last river, I guess you could say, that you cross right before you get into the DMV area.
Yep, the Occoquan.
Occoquan. I hate that bridge, by the way.
It's all good. It's a
And
beautiful bridge.
the overall area is called MR. Ooh, how do you pronounce that? MAR.
Marumsco.
What kind of name is that?
Marumsco.
It's probably Native American.
Probably. It's much like Occoquan.
Yeah, Marumsco, because everything belongs to the Native Americans. Marumsco. And so those people still have Woodbridge addresses. So I guess you can look up Ramunsko, but also when you're looking for a place to live down there, look up Woodbridge.
Yes.
So it's in Prince William County.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and hit the pictures. Go ahead,
Yeah,
baby.
show them what's happening, baby, with the Prince William County situations out here.
Go ahead and
it's about 20 miles south of D.C., only 9 miles from Fort Belvoir, Fairfax County's largest employer. It's also approximately 16 miles from the Quantico Marine Corps base. So, if you're living in Woodbridge, you won't have to go far to get to a little retail therapy, right? There's some shops and all kinds of cool things there. So, yeah, Woodbridge is dope. Roll this up a little bit for me, baby. Yeah, so when we think about Woodbridge, it's not really that far from DC, right? So it is. I'm
just being honest with you. When I think about Woodbridge, I think about IKEA.
Real talk. When we lived here before, we were going to go to IKEA. If I was going to Woodbridge, that was the first thing that came
That's just
to
where
mind.
we were going. And that's kind of what spurred the growth down there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like when they built the IKEA down there maybe 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
About 30 years ago.
We
Maybe
shop.
25 years ago.
No, we used to shop there.
It was like the first IKEA almost on the East Coast after New York. So it was just like, wow. And it was cheap furniture. You had to put it together. So when you're young and don't have any money, you just got out of college, it was perfect.
That joint right there got us through our first few years.
It got us through our first few years. So
we were enamored with the IKEA game.
Yeah. So
we could take the baby down there.
Yep,
we could
throw her in the ballroom.
We got at least 20 minutes in the ballroom.
Yep.
So we could breathe. And
they have a little baseball team down there too. Listen to me, I said little.
It's a little baseball team.
It's the minor league team for the Nationals, the
major
major team here.
Is dope, so that's cool.
It's pretty suburban, guys.
Yep.
It's not like DC
Right.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want that DC feel, if you just want if you want more of a suburban lifestyle, slower and everything, definitely look at Woodbridge.
Yeah, you got some hiking trails down there. Leesylvania State Park, right? So that's a local treasure.
What's it called? Leesylvania.
Yeah, like Lee.
Yeah, they got all kind of activities down there, but the shopping isn't. It's like outlet shopping, I guess you could say. So you got Potomac Mills, which is like one of the larger ones. So we have a lot of shopping in the area.
Yeah.
Period. We have high end shopping. We have regular shopping. We have shopping galore.
And that's where IKEA is too, in Potomac Mills.
Potomac Mills. That's where IKEA is.
And of course, the Potomac River runs down through there, so that's the name.
That's
Potomac Mills.
That's the
Potomac
Occoquan.
River. Oh yeah, that's true. Occoquan.
Well, it's on.
It's an
the
offshoot of
Occoquan
Potomac.
offshoots the Potomac, so you have to go out a little further.
Right.
In Occoquan, Woodbridge to get to Potomac. But I guess you can get to the Potomac. If you live down there and you have a boat, you can get to the Potomac, basically.
And you can get your fishing on, your hiking.
Yep,
your
and it's very suburban though. But a lot of people are moving down there because let me see, is this what I want to pull up? There's only about 4,000 people that live in Woodbridge. They shrank it, but if that's not. I don't think that's a good depiction. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's so many people down there.
It is a lot of people down
It's so many people down there. It's considered, let's go ahead and give you the grade. The grade is an A-. I don't know why that crime and safety is we're going to give you a little bit more information about that. But the public schools are coming up because it used to be more rural, but now it's more suburban, urban.
Yeah, yeah.
And is that what it says here? So that's only about 32 miles from D.C., which is not too bad. But I'm going to tell you something.
32 minutes, that's no traffic though, right?
It's a little bit of traffic.
32 minutes to go 23.4 miles.
But if we pull up this Google map in about another hour, it's going to say 90. It's going to say something crazy.
It's going to be a little red.
Yeah.
Right here when we took that screenshot, it was all blue.
It was blue. That was earlier this morning. But give it about another hour, it's going to be some red going down there. And that's all the time. Literally. So when people talk about traffic in D.C., this is the corridor they are referring to. It is the worst.
95.
And I think that's what puts Woodbridge at a disadvantage. That's what took Woodbridge off of our list. Yeah. It was just too far, too hard to get to. Now, I will say this.
Say it, baby.
If you want a bigger home, if you want that suburban feel, if you want to, get out of the city, but still be near, Arlington, Fairfax, Alexandria, this is a good place to live. A lot of people are moving down there that really are being, not pushed out of the area, but just want more room. Yeah. They want more room. Why are we so blurry? It's driving me crazy. I'm so sorry.
It's all right, baby. Keep going. You doing your thing.
Okay. Let's see. Places like it. So they got Cheverly, which is a suburb of Maryland.
Yeah, we like Cheverly.
Yeah, and they've got I've never heard of
Nebsco.
Have you?
Nebsco? Don't know that one.
Yeah. Cherry Hill. I've heard of Cherry Hill. And
Cherry
Parkview.
Hill, New Jersey, I heard of.
So Parkview. We were going to talk about Parkview one time, right?
I know Parkview High School in Atlanta.
No, baby.
Gwinnett County?
No.
Shout out to the A.
Please stop. We're talking about Parkview in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah. The economy down there, Woodbridge, it's a little bit lower income. No, I'm sorry. The household income is about $100,000, like we've always told you around here. Future job growth is really, really in line with the United States. So it's near Quantico, which is
above the United States.
It's actually above the United States. I'm sorry.
It definitely benefits from being in the Metro DC area, right? And so when you see these income numbers,
right?
Can you go back one, baby?
Yeah, sure.
When you see these income numbers, you want to make sure that that you understand that you're taking into account. Hey, this is kind of Metro DC type of data that you're seeing right here. So you benefit when you're in this area, right? So the unemployment is really low. The household income is high. The per capita income is high. And the job growth is on the uptick as well. So future job prospects are also excellent. So there you go.
Okay, let's look at the cost of living. So overall, as you can see, housing is higher than the United States, and it's definitely higher than what they call Virginia. But for Northern Virginia, it's a lot better.
Yep.
It's a lot better.
Yeah, that's a good call out.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's gonna say it's so much higher than the U.S., but that's just this whole area.
Right.
But when you compare to Southern Virginia, you gotta remember it's like almost like two different states, y'all. Southern Virginia is very different from Northern Virginia, so it's really good if you want to be in the Northern Virginia area.
Right.
The median household income, I thought it was higher. No, I don't know why it's showing 45.
Yeah, I think this is I think that's per capita. This is a per capita number, so the data's a little confusing. Yeah, it does say median household income, but also that probably has to do with maybe the old data when the area was much larger. So you're dealing with a much larger data set.
Area. Okay.
Yeah, you're dealing with a much larger data set, and I think now that you're looking at the smaller area of those 4,000 or 5,000 people, the numbers are different.
And I think the diversity that they're giving it a B, I think it's on point. It used to be mostly lighter persuasion, but more different people are moving into that area.
Yeah, lots of cultures there.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's growing. So you've got families in Woodbridge, you got married people in Woodbridge.
Yep.
And most of them, as you can see, are white, and then about almost 15% are black, and a lot of Asians. Like I said, 20% are of Hispanic ethnicity.
Yeah, the Hispanic community is really growing.
They're really, really growing down there, and because they like to be families and they're family oriented. They want more space, so that's why they're moving down there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's see, what about working? So working average, there you go. Median household income is about $113,000. and they do have a lot of growth happening in Woodbridge. And just a lot of people that work down there live down there, work in Fairfax, like the outskirts of Virginia and that area.
And you can see that data is almost double the national average, right? So really strong income.
Right. So here's another income chart, and it shows you right in line with the rest of the DMV.
Yep.
You're going to, two people working in a household are going to make, $100,000 or more in this area. Very easy to do. Let's see what it says about residents. So like the rest of DC, many people have some type of degree, and I think that's why you see the higher numbers of income.
No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt. Absolutely.
What are their politics? I wonder what their politics are.
Nova.
You're still in Northern Virginia, guys. So it's just gonna be liberal around here.
It's gonna be left leaning.
As you can see, it's a little bit light blue, not as dark blue.
Right.
That's because of the mix, and you are getting closer to
Southern Virginia. Yeah.
Well, not really.
It's left leaning.
It's still left leaning. The real estate. Let's get into it, because that's why people move to Woodbridge. They want to buy a house.
For the love of money.
Yeah, they want to buy a house. And the other thing to remember is that overall Woodbridge real estate is a really healthy mix. When we go down there, it's small. Some older homes, but not old like in the DC area, right? And you've got newer planned communities, right?
You can see the mix here of 72% of people owning their home in Woodbridge, right?
Right, so as opposed to renting as you get closer to the DC area.
Yeah, so that really speaks to Tracy's point, right? As people are going to that area specifically to buy, right? So they're moving out a little further from the city core so that they can afford the property. So
and you see that median home value, y'all. We haven't seen that number in a while.
Yeah, 357.
It's usually around the 600 whenever we're doing a community in this area.
And that's a mixture, of course, of single family, townhomes,
townhomes,
all of that, right?
Right.
But still a really palatable number if you're bring in the six figures and you're doing your thing, and so you can make it happen in Woodbridge. And
it's popular with first time home buyers too. The main thing people move down there for is to get the bang for the buck.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They want the bang for the buck.
And the median rent right there, you can also see, is below $2,000.
Right.
So that's another good number as well.
Let's see what else
for DC.
Yeah. So these are some of. Am I missing one?
For the DMV rather.
Right. So these are some homes for sale. You've got a smaller, older townhome for $349, a 3.3. You got a 3.5, a little bit larger for $474.
No, the first one was 3.5.
This is 3. Oh, it is 3.5. Then you got a 3.5, nice size home with a 2-car garage, 4,300 square feet. That's what we're talking about. The bang. You get a much larger house. But you are pushing up to $639. $639 for this area is still really, really good for this size. That house closer in is well over $1 million, almost $2 million. So that just gives you an idea of what you're talking about to make that drive. And you can see the larger home here. That's $635. It's 4,000 square feet also, and it's in that 650. Yeah, that six. Let's see if there's any other ones I pulled.
4,000 square. Yep. Dillwyn Court.
Okay, here's some more. You still have some older homes, not as old as you see in town, though.
Hey, 3.2 right there for $290.
Showing this park right here. I don't know what that is. Sorry about that.
It's maybe they took the park and turned it into a lot.
The one at the top over here, 655. That almost looks like a home like in Potomac.
It does, yeah.
So that's why people are moving up. But a home in Potomac like that is almost $2 million.
Yeah.
So that just gives you an idea.
For the folks looking for the opportunity, though, check that out. The top left right there.
Right. So this is another buy that we see. No, this is not. That's from last week, y'all.
It's all right, babe.
So sorry, y'all.
It's all good.
Okay, let's see. Rent. So the rent is the same.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you're gonna rent, you might as well come in closer.
Hey.
And that's what I noticed looking at this. It's like I can rent maybe not as much. $2,600. I'm not gonna get a 2.5 townhome. For 3,000 square feet. That's for sure.
So that might be a deal for somebody who has a small family and
they
need a little more space than a condo or a typical rental scenario. Then you also want to look at if you live out there, if you work out that way as well, right?
Right,
so
or if you work in Fairfax, like Fairfax County, or Alexandria.
That's another thing to consider, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Hey, if you want to be closer and you keep your rent palatable, there you go.
Exactly. Let's see what we got here.
Opportunities.
Yeah, and they have a lot of new apartments too, guys. I don't put the apartments up because that's just like really easy to follow. You just go on apartments.com, you can see the apartments down there.
Yep.
But what I like to show, because you have so many families moving to the area and it costs more, open your mind up to renting a home, because you're going to pay about the same thing. Now they do show an apartment here. Apartments are newer down there. If they're not newer, they've been renovated because so many people move down there. Another thing, if you see something, you got to jump on it. It's crazy right now. Rentals and purchasing, it's just really, really,
it's a
really
little frothy
crazy.
right now. You can see this. Hey, if you're single, you don't have kids and that kind of thing. This one over here on the left.
Sorry.
This one over here on the left is $1,300 if you're working in that area. Keep your life simple. It looks like it's a new place, so a nice, clean way to start.
Keep it simple when you first move somewhere. Get used to it. If you like any of the information you're watching today, hello, thank you for joining us. Hit that like button. That helps the algorithm. It helps people know, hey, I like what I'm watching. Let's keep it moving. Now we had a question about commute, didn't we? So, it says 30 to 34 for most people, but if you look further down, it says 60 to 89. And I'm going to be honest with you, the 60 to 89 is probably more likely. Where you see the 30 to 34, people probably live and work in the area, or they live and work in Fairfax. Because you can take back roads and everything to get to Fairfax and Alexandria. If you're coming into DC proper every day, though, you're going to be pushing that 60 to 89 unless you get up and leave at like 6 a.m.
I think another thing that contributes to that data point is that if you typically are commuting into the city, Metro DC, and to the city from Woodbridge, then you're also traveling at these peak times, right? At the peak commuter time. So you're like in the midst of the traffic coming in, you're in the midst of the traffic coming out, and so that's really going to contribute to your commute.
And another thing that happens with people that live down there, it's this thing called slubbing. I think it's called slubbing.
Slubbing?
Slubbing. It's called
what's that
slubbing.
About?
So
what's that about, baby?
And this has been going on in DC area for decades.
What you talking about, Tracy?
There is a couple places around downtown DC. I think there's one near the monument, if it's still there. And you drive by it during rush hour and you just see this line of people.
Yep.
It's just a line of people standing there. And you're like, well, it's not a bus stop.
Right.
And it's not a metro stop.
So you're like, what are these people doing over
Why
here?
are these people it's not a line. It's like a line to nowhere.
Right.
What these people are doing is people that live in the Woodbridge area want another person or another two people in their car so they can get in the Hove lane.
That's right.
Roll.
And we're not talking about Jay-Z, y'all. We talking about how to get into the high occupancy vehicle lane.
Right.
To get home faster.
This is every day.
Because if you traveling by yourself,
I wish I had a picture.
You got to be in traffic by yourself, with the rest of the world,
right?
But if you have more than, I think you have to have 3 people in DC, right?
Yeah.
So
no, it might be 2 now.
No,
I don't know.
I think it's 3.
I think it's 3. Yeah.
I think it's at least 3. I don't know. Maybe it's 2. I think it's 2.
We don't go that way. Just
I think it's if you got 2 or more people in your car,
right?
Then you can get in the whole lane, right? So now,
it's like, where are you gonna get the people from?
You yo, man, where you going? You going? All right, let's go.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like you see these people standing in line. They're just standing there, just waiting, and just waiting to hop into a stranger's car. Literally, It's called slubbing. I think it's called.
That's funny, baby.
Look it up on. I think it's on TikTok.
Yeah.
I think I saw somebody talking about it on TikTok. They're like, y'all, this is what I do every day to get back and forth to work. It's crazy.
Back in the day, we used to put the thumb out.
You don't have to. You just get in the line. It's a whole line of people that have been at work all day, and they're standing in line. They're just waiting to hop into the car with somebody to get on down to Woodbridge or further, Fredericksburg. We'll talk about Fredericksburg too. But a lot of people live down that way. Don't feel like you're going to be out there and alone. A lot of people live down that way.
You got to make it happen.
And make it happen if you want that larger home, if you want that suburban lifestyle for your family, if you want to be near the retail centers but still have access to DC, it's a great place to live.
No doubt.
So check that out. That is one way to get back and forth without a car, driving your car in every day. Another thing is they have a lot of parking near the metros down there.
Yep.
Okay, I'll get into the commute. Let's keep talking about the commute. So you've got Interstate 95, and then you've got Route 1.
You can come up to 495 and come around.
Yeah, you can. There's several different ways. So there are a lot of bus services too. That's another thing in DC that they have that go to main parts of the city centers. They go to the Crystal City area or National Landing now.
Yeah, they go to the job centers.
They go into the job centers, and you just get on a bus. I think you pay like $60, $70 a month or something like that, and you hop on a great, they're nice, air-conditioned, heated, very nice buses, comfortable seating, and you can commute in like that. So there's tons of commuter parking places down in this area
Lots
too.
Of ways to get here.
Right. There's also Amtrak, and there's also what we call VRE, Virginia Railway Express Train.
Yep.
And that, a few people that use that.
I do.
What they tell you about it?
They say that thing is like it's on air rails, like it's on air shocks. That thing is just smooth. You get on there, put your feet up, bring your phone out.
It's luxury travel for the most part. It's very luxurious. It's updated recently. They're adding more stations within town now.
Yeah.
So, and they have the same thing in Maryland. I think it's called Mark. But in the Virginia side, it's called the VRE. So see if you can find a home that gets you near the VRE. I think it goes as far as Fredericksburg.
Yeah. One of my colleagues lives in Fredericksburg.
And he comes in every day.
So it takes him like an hour.
It takes an hour on the train. And just think, you're not in traffic. You're not putting that wear and tear on your car. You're in a relaxing atmosphere. So if it takes him an hour from Fredericksburg, it probably only takes about 30 minutes from Woodbridge.
Yeah.
So think about different types of transportation, different ways to commute.
More options.
Yeah, definitely more options. Sorry we stayed on that part so long.
Baby. We trying to get
but it's important
to the people.
It's important when you live in Woodbridge, the commuting aspect.
Is it time for transition music yet?
No, we're still talking about Woodbridge.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going.
Am I boring you?
No, you good, baby.
Okay.
You never bore me, baby.
We need to get to the crime. Okay. We need to get to the crime.
Yo, if you're down in Woodbridge, you might need to keep the head on the swivel.
Yeah.
Because occasionally it's going to be some stuff that might pop off.
It's different. I think it's because so many people have moved down there, and they're just not ready for that influx. We don't say this about Woodbridge, but the colloquialism in the DMV is called
Hoodbridge. So, I was like, what? That's what they call it?
What? That's what they called it?
I mean, to us, it's Woodbridge.
Yeah, it's always
down there by
Woodbridge.
IKEA.
Yeah.
That's how we think about it.
That's Woodbridge. But they're like, oh, yeah, Hoodbridge.
It's Hoodbridge now.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, different strokes with different folks.
But when we looked up the crime statistics, we just didn't see that much.
Yeah. But just be aware.
Yeah, there is. You just have a heightened awareness, just like you have to do in certain parts of the city. It's
stick them up.
It's not that different.
That's how you just say in the 70s.
You so silly.
Stick them up.
You so silly. How do you know?
No, I'm just saying. That's like, you watch the
TV shows.
Yeah, the whodunits and the crime shows.
So top public schools serving Woodbridge. You got Pennington School. They're up and coming, guys. And when we show this stat, we're showing public schools.
Right.
There are so many private schools in the area. If you want to do private schools, you can find that information.
Lots of options.
Yeah. But we want to focus on the public schools because we know that's what most people are looking for.
Yeah.
So if you want to know which public schools are going to be the best for your kids, look at these that we have on the screen right now and try to find homes in those areas. Keep in mind, those homes are probably going to cost you a little bit more.
Yep, that's how it goes. Got to bring the bag.
All right, so
city of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. Yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop